Alright, welcome to World Domination. Actually, to conquer the world, you need math. So before we get to world domination, this is what you're going to have to learn. The basics first. No! This is you crying because you have to learn the basics. Right here, look at the tears. Oh, tears. But you have to learn the basics of math. So in algebra, we're going to start off with basic stuff, so adding real numbers. So a couple of things you need to know about adding real numbers. When adding and the signs are the same. Now, when I'm talking about signs, I'm talking about the integer signs. So if it's a negative and a negative, or positive and a positive, and you're adding them together, then what you do is you add the two numbers together and then put the sign that was there. And I'll show you an example here in a second. So if they're the same, we want to just go ahead and add the numbers together and then keep the sign. Now, number 2, right here. When adding, if they are different signs, so like if we have a negative and a positive, or a positive and a negative, and we're adding them together, then what we're going to do is we're going to subtract the numbers and keep the bigger number sign. So let me show you a couple of examples. This first one right here. Alright, we have -3 plus -5. Signs are the same. So what are we going to do? We add them. So what's 3 plus 5? It's 8. And then what sign did they have in common? A negative. So you get -8. Alright, let's do the next example. We have -3 plus 6. So what do we notice about the signs? Yeah, they're different signs. So because they're different, we're going to subtract. So what's 6 minus 3? 3. And which one has the biggest sign? Well, 3 has a negative. Which one's bigger? 6 or 3? The 6 is. So since 6 is bigger and its sign is positive, we keep it a positive 3 number. So let's go do the last one. X plus 7 for when x is -13. So this is telling us to substitute -13 for x. So let's try it out. -13 plus 7. Alright, signs are different. So we're going to subtract. What's 13 minus 7? That's 6. Good job. And then which one's bigger? The 13 or the 7? The 13 is. So then we put -6. Just think of it this way. You have 13 negatives and 7 positives. Who's going to win? The 13s, because it's bigger. And you're going to have 6 of them left over. That's all there is to it. Next example. Now we're going to do fractions. 1/2 plus 2/3. So first things first, look at the signs. Are they the same? Yeah, they're both positive. So now we're going to add them. Well, you can't add them because, remember, these have to be the same. The denominators have to be the same. So what can we think of that can include 2 and 3? Well, the easiest way to figure that out is if you just multiply 2 times 3, which is 6. So our common denominator should be 6. Now, how did we go from 1/2, the 2, to be a 6? We had to multiply the 2 by 3. So we're going to multiply both top and bottom by 3, and you get 3 over 6. Now the 3 I had to multiply by 2 on top and bottom. So I get 4, 6. Now we can add them. 3 plus 4 is 7, 6. Now we're going to leave it just like this because in algebra we leave them improper fractions. Unless the answer is given to you in a mixed number, then you can change it, which would be 1 1/6. But we want to keep it like this because we're going to use slope, and slope we have to keep it improper. It's hard to plot a mixed number slope. So keep it improper. You're done right there. Don't do the extra step. So let's do another one. First, look at the signs. Right here, we're right here now. So you got 1/4 plus negative 3/4. The signs are different. So we're going to subtract. Now look at the denominators. Are the denominators the same? Yeah, so we don't have to find a common denominator. We can just subtract them. Subtract the tops. 3 minus 1 is 2. And the bottom stays the same. Which one's bigger, 1/4 or 3/4? 3/4 because it's almost a whole, so we're going to keep its sign. Now let's reduce. Always reduce. What's 2/4 reduced? Well, 2 is half of 4, so it's half. Now the negative can be negative 2 over 4, or it can be 2 over negative 4, or it can be just negative 2/4. Doesn't matter as long as just one of them is negative. Alright, and we'll talk more about that when we're dividing real numbers. Alright, subtracting real numbers. Follow the rules of addition. It's the same thing. We're going to do the same thing as addition. The only difference is we're going to take that minus sign right here and we're going to put it over with the 7. And in its place, we're going to put a plus sign. You see how I did that over here? I put the minus sign right here. And then replace it with the plus. It means the same thing. So now it's just like we're adding. We follow the rules of adding. The signs are different, so you subtract. And which one's bigger, the 7 or the 4? The 7, so you keep its negative. That's all there is to it. All right, another example. Ooh, this one's hard. It's a mixed number. So here I did it again. I changed the negative into negative 5 over 5 2/3 and replaced it with the plus sign. So now we subtract them. The easiest way for me to subtract mixed numbers is to change them into improper. Because in algebra we use, like I said earlier, improper numbers, improper fractions. So let's go ahead and do that. To do that, you multiply 2 times 3. And you add the 1. So you get 6 plus 1 is 7 over 2. You keep the denominator. So we're going to plus, and then we have a negative. Now let's change this one. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 17 over 3. Now, look at the signs. Are they different? Yeah, so we're going to subtract. But before we can subtract them, we have to get a common denominator. So here again, just like before, we can use 6 as a common denominator. Go ahead and set it up here. All right. To get 3 equal to 6, or get 2 equal to 6, I have to multiply by 3, top and bottom. So I get 21/6. And to get 3 equal to 6, I have to multiply by 2 on top and bottom. I did that period backwards. There we go. So I get 24. No, I lied. 34. Now we can subtract. What's 34 minus 21? Yep. So you're going to get 13 over 6. Now which one's bigger, the 34 over 6 or 21 over 6? Yeah, the 34 is bigger, right there. So we're going to keep its sign. We are not going to change this to mixed number. We're going to keep it the way it is. It cannot be reduced. 13 only is prime. It's only 1 and 13. And 6 doesn't go into 13 at all, so you can't reduce it. So you just get negative 13/6. And that's the end of today's lesson. Tomorrow, what we're going to try to do is we're going to go over this, and then Thursday we're going to go over multiplying and dividing. We'll have a test on Friday. So don't forget, we'll have a test on Friday. See y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.